Hey there everyone! Ever wondered what it would be like to step inside the eerie, atmospheric world of Twin Peaks while the iconic theme song plays around you alongside a reactive visualizer? Well, wonder no more. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how Connor and I combined these elements to create a cover and visualizer that not only pays homage to the legendary TV show, but also immerses you in a fully reactive experience. I'll be breaking down the entire process, from setting up your project in Unreal Engine to syncing it with Ableton, and finally, how to make those visuals dance to the rhythm of the music. Whether you're a fan of the show, a musician, or just a tech enthusiast, there's something in this tutorial for everyone. So if you're ready to see how the magic happens and learn some cool tricks along the way, make sure to stick around and let's get started on this Twin Peaks journey. But first, some prerequisites in order to ensure you have everything necessary in order to get up and running. The first being some MaxForLive devices and Unreal Engine blueprints as supplied by the SEM Interests AV Club, and a plugin called OSC Par by deadmau5. These devices and plugins are what allow you to convert MIDI and automation data into OSC data, so Unreal Engine can then parse all the incoming data and control various effects and parameters inside Unreal Engine, along with switching between multiple cameras in real time. The second variable would be Ultra Dynamic Sky, as this handy blueprint is what allows us to quickly dial in the environmental lighting. It's also what will be used in conjunction with OSC Par when it comes to mapping the automation data for real-time manipulation of the parameters of Ultra Dynamic Sky. The third variable would be Joe Garth's Brushify Smart Brush system for sculpting out the landscape and for texturing said landscape. And finally, the Twin Peaks themed assets used in the piece, which ranged from free assets as found on Sketchfab or as found on the Epic Marketplace as supplied by Project Nature, as getting somewhat accurate trees and foliage is needed to help nail the aesthetics that are found within the world of Twin Peaks. Once all these assets are acquired, I was finally able to begin on building out the environment for the project. But to start with the song itself, my friend Connor did the main arrangement for that in his Pro Tools session. With that completed, it was then sent over to myself along with the accompanying MIDI tracks for synchronization purposes with the Unreal Engine side of things. I also took the final master and then ran it through my modular synthesizer to generate further granular ambient layers to flesh out the arrangement even more. Once the song was completed, I started building out a little forest environment using Brushify and the free tree asset pack that I found on the Epic Marketplace by Project Nature. In order to get the aesthetic of the Pacific Northwest, I tried using trees as frequently seen in the show, such as spruce trees, Douglas firs, and redwoods. However, I was only able to find a pack for the spruce trees, so I decided to make that the main focus for the video. Once the forest was built out, I started placing the props from the show that I found on Sketchfab around the environment to help solidify the forest with the red room, among other variables related to Twin Peaks. This included the Welcome to Twin Peaks sign, infamous red curtains alongside the black and white chevron floor, the framed picture of Laura Palmer, the inscribed gold ring, and Venus de Medici statue, to name a few things. After all the props were placed in the scene, the next step was setting up all the reactive elements to the arrangement that Connor set up. This included things such as gold sparks firing off while the chord progression and lead melody plays out, the ring and picture frame rotating in random directions at random velocities upon receiving MIDI notes, strobe lights firing off amongst the forest like seen in the Red Room environment, as well as fire spawning in the lamps once the music transitions over to Laura Palmer's theme at the end of the video. The idea was to have the reactive variables reflect themes and visual aesthetics as commonly seen throughout the series. This is achieved through MaxForLive devices that are supplied by the SEM Interests AV Club, as it converts the MIDI data in Ableton to OSC data that Unreal can parse and send out via your computer's port and IP address, which can then trigger the effects in Unreal. I made some more detailed tutorials on this particular thing a few months ago, so be sure to check the description if you'd be interested in a more detailed walkthrough of this. I also mapped the automation data to an instance of OSC par so I could control ultra dynamic sky via some implemented interfaces. This allowed for controlling things such as the sun setting, fog building up, and cloud coverage getting denser as the track progresses. I've also got a more detailed tutorial on this particular process, which can be found in a previous video. The link will also be in the description for this. The last variable to set up is the camera switching system, which allows you to switch between 12 different cameras around the Unreal scene in real time via an octave range within a MIDI channel in Ableton. With all of this set up, that only leaves the recording process left to do, which was achieved via OBS. Now, since I had two shots in particular that had random rotating objects, this particular visualizer actually required about a dozen takes or so in order to get the picture frame and ring in frame in just the right way, as more often than not, it was the back of the picture frame and ring that would be shown to the camera once it got around to those shots, therefore resulting in having to splice together multiple takes, as the statistical odds of getting a perfect one-shot take was very low. From there, it was just ensuring everything still remained in sync upon further editing, along with additional color correction work. And there you have it, our journey through the Twin Peaks theme song and its reactive visualizer, brought to life with Unreal Engine and Ableton Live. I hope you enjoyed exploring this immersive experience as much as Connor and I enjoyed creating it. Be sure to check out his channel for even more awesome music-related content, and if you found this tutorial helpful or inspiring, share it with a fellow creator or Twin Peaks fan. It really helps out Connor and I and keeps us motivated to keep bringing you more exciting content. Got questions, feedback, or ideas for future projects? Drop a comment below. And if you haven't already, leave a like and hit that subscribe button to stay updated on my latest tutorials and projects. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep creating and stay inspired. See you in the next video.